Okay, um, in this problem, I'm going to kind of work on a Hangman game functionality, some portion of that. Specifically, hopefully all of you know Hangman game. It kind of comes up with a randomly generated word and prompts the user to guess one letter at a time, and then it tries to kind of add body parts or something, right? Every time when you miss. So that's the game. So here it's kind of text version of that. Um, so initially everything is shown as stars, and then as we guess the correct letters, it shows those letters, and then when we make a mistake, it says it's not in the word, and so on. Okay. So if you guess the same letter second time, just prints a message. So when you're done, it says how many times we missed. Okay. So we want to kind of put that functionality into this C++ function. So basically, given a word, you're asking the user to play the game, and then we'll return finally how many times the user missed. Okay. So within C++, you can access the length of the word, length of the string, the input string, by dot length. By the way, that has to be small s. That's capital S is a Java thing. Small s in a string in C++. Each character you can access as word of I. Okay. So let's go to the C++ environment. Here I am using code blocks. You can use anything else. Okay, so here is a setup. We are going to use a string and as the parameter to the play game method, and simply from main we are just going to invoke this. Our focus is this one. Okay. You asking for another word, all that you can do in main. In fact, you can define an array of words, or you can even read from your file and randomly invoke the play game with that word. All that you can do, but that's not the main purpose of what I'm going to talk about today. Okay, so this is we are going to focus on this play game, and so what are all the cases we need to worry about? Basically, you have to get this letter, and then we have to figure out whether it's already in the word and it's not in the word, right? So let's just write down few things. Keep track of misses, right? So we need to keep track of the misses and keep track of so that's a main thing. Guess is incorrect, right? That's one other important functionality. And repeated guess of the same character. It's not very important functionality, but we do need to take care of it. And of course the guess is correct, right? So that's other case. So this basically we have to do under loop. So these are all the key points, right? So let's put them in comments. Okay. So keep track of the misses. So we need a variable, right? Int misses. Okay, 0. Very good. So now we want to display the correct thing too, right? Remember, initially we had to display the stars, and we have to display the stars and expose them as they become as they are guessed, right? So the correct letters. So how are we going to do that? We have this word that has all the characters, right, of the word. Obviously we don't want to display that, right? So we do want to display the stars instead. So maybe you can have another string display, and there are several ways to do it. You can basically go through the you know determine basically whether how to display each character, whether to display each character, So you can have another Boolean flag maybe to indicate that whether to display a word. What do I mean by that? Let me show. So let's say the string is like this. Okay, so let's say this is the string. So for display, this is the word, right? For display, you can have another string, display purposes, equal length, right? So you can put them as initialize them as stars of equal length, like this. Then as the user guesses, right, as the user guesses particular character, for example R, let's say user guesses, so then this display can be updated to say R, so instead of star, you update R here and you update R here, right? And then when you display it, it will become star R star star R star star. Okay, so like that, that's something we can do. That's just one approach. Okay, another approach would be the same thing. Another approach would be use a Boolean array, right? Array whether to display each character, right? So initially it will be all will be false, right? Boolean array whether to display the individual character. So initially it will be false, right? All the positions will be false, and then you can, once the, for example, R is guessed, then we convert this to true, right? Convert this to true. So we can use in a for loop, we can keep checking this whether display each field. If it is true, then display the actual character. If it is false, display the star. See, so you need a logic. If it is true, you display the actual character from the word. If it's not true, then display the display star, basically, because it hasn't been guessed yet, right? So maybe you can call this guessed or something, right? Boolean array guessed. Okay, so that's the two approaches, so I'm not sure we'll be able to show both approaches, but at least we'll go with let's go with the first one and see how it goes. Okay, so string display, or you can even say output, not a big deal, word. Okay, well, that's not what we want. That is just to initialize the string, really. Set the length. That's an easy way of setting the length. So I'm going to say initialize that I less than display dot length I plus plus. See, you can do it in so many ways. Okay, so it just shows just one way. Okay, display of I equal to star. In C++, strings can be changed. Okay, unlike Java. Java, you cannot, first of all, there's no operator overloading like this, like array. See here, we are accessing it like a array, right? In Java, you have to do dot caret or something, and then even then you cannot change the array. So if you want to change the array, you have to use the string buffer or string builder, something like that. Though in fact, both of them will work, I believe. Anyway, back to C++. So we are initialized and we are ready to go. One question remaining is, when do you stop playing this game? We are going to do the loop, right? So for now we want to just keep going. So but we do need to come back and fix this one, while one, right? So now let's see, enter a letter in Word. Enter a letter in Word. What is the word? The display. Okay, very good. So now we want to get the response. Okay, we are assuming user is inputting properly and all that, one character. Okay, very good. So now what? By the way, I'll just keep this in lowercase. We don't want to mess with uppercase, lowercase and all that stuff. Okay, so everything is lowercase. So we got the user input. So now we need to check, right? We need to check whether it's a good guess, right? So you want to check against the word, right? So remember, string is just like a array. So less than word length, display length, both are same, since we really mirrored it and changed the contents when it comes to display. Okay, if response equal to word of I, right? So if the response is equal to word of I, that's very good, right? So then we want to display it, right? So display of I equal to word of I. You understand that? Basically, till now the display of I may be star. Now the word of I, we are displaying that letter, right? Very good. That's the pretty much the core functionality there, right there, right? So core piece is there, but of course we do have a lot of loose ends to take care of. The misses, for example, you have to figure out when it's a missed, and all that, right? So when you go in here, let's say we find the correct letter, type in the correct letter, it does match, then we are updating. Should we do break right here within this if statement? Now that we did find a match, should we break? Well, we saw one example, program, right? R occurs twice. So since a particular letter may occur twice, you don't want to break, so you want to go all the way till the end and expose all the instances, not just one instance. Okay, very good. So that's so we shouldn't use a break. And okay, so how do you figure out the miss? Okay, how do you figure out the miss? Well, one common way to figure out the miss is basically, see, if you use a break, you can figure out the misses by just checking the I value here. But unfortunately, we are not using a break, so I does go to all the way to the end, whether we find it or not, right? So that logic we cannot use. So the easiest way is Boolean. Good guess. How about that? Good guess is false initially. Okay, so we want to keep track of it. Good guess, we are assuming it's false initially. So once the it was a good guess, then once it's a good guess, so then you can change it to true, right? It's a flag really, right? So now we can use in the bottom, right after the verb for loop, you can use whether good guess, right? If it's actually a good guess, we're not going to do much, I guess, right? So really, if it's not a good guess, right? If it's not a good guess, what are we going to say? If it's not a good guess, n is not in the word. Okay, so whatever input letter is, response is not in the word. Okay. Okay, very good. So, and also misses. Okay. Very good. So then when the while loop is over, we have to do return misses finally. So okay, let's go ahead and compile and run. Okay, so let's type in something that doesn't exist. Very good. H is not in the word, and R. Very good. Programming. So 2 R's are showing up. M. So the key functionality is kind of working, right? So you can see keeps on prompting even though we are done because it's while 1, right? Okay, then we'll stop that, Control C. So then let's see what else is missing. So we do have to change this while loop. So when does the while loop have to stop? Well, when all the characters are guessed, right? So we have to kind of keep track of number of guessed characters too, right? So just like the misses, you can keep track of how many have been guessed or exposed. How about that? Exposed. So then I can say as they become exposed, right here, right? So as they become exposed, each letter become exposed, we increment that, and then now we can check exposed is while exposed is less than the length, right? While exposed is less than the word length, keep going, right? Okay. Only thing now with remaining, let's review this one. Keep track of the misses. Guess is incorrect, right? And repeated guess of the same character. That's something we haven't taken care of. Guess is correct, we took care of. Guess is incorrect, we took care of, right? Anyway, let's go ahead, run it once, and then come back to this. Okay, so very good. We returned when everything is guessed, right? So in fact, it will be nice to print the whole word. That's not a big deal. Okay. See out. Yes, word was something like that. Okay, also we want output here too. Missed that many times, right? You missed guess programming. Okay. Okay, very good. Let's go back here and remember the one thing that was missing is the case where we guessed the letter again. Let's see here, programming. See, when I guess again second, it doesn't display any message, and in fact we have a problem with this currently. I keep on guessing P. See, so we keep thinking that we need a new guess. So finally our exposed counter gets to the length and it shows the word, so that's not good, right? So we do want to figure out this case too. So how do you do that? Well, here, right here, we're checking responses there in the word. That's good. But we can also check whether it was being already displayed, right? So if it's already displayed, then this is no good, right? So let's see if it's already displayed. So before you go in and celebrate the the good guess, we want to double check that, right? So if display of I is, what do you want to say? You can check display of I equal to word of I, some things like that we can say, or not equal to star. Either one will work. Okay, so if it is already being displayed, then this will go under else case, right? See out. What was the message? P is already in the word. Okay, response is already in the word. Okay, so it's already there, so we don't want to double count and all that. Okay, let me format it here. Okay, so if it is already in the word, so we found that that letter is already in the word, and we are user typed in again, you just display the message. So this time, do you really need to go back again for loop? That letter may appear multiple times, but you don't need to display this message multiple times, right? So you don't need to display this message multiple times, so you can use a break. So this time this break is going to break this for loop and go down, right? Yeah, so it's going to break and go down, but then it will go up to the while loop. See, so it goes here, and do we really even want to go here? No, let's go to the top directly. Continue. Okay, because we don't want to mess with all this, right? So just go continue, go to the top, you display this message, go to the top, and that way you avoid all this counting for guess and all that. Okay, so because otherwise that will be counted as a miss. Repeated guess of the same letter will be counted as a miss, and I don't think we want that. Okay, very good. So okay, just for fun, we can even you can even include the miss in the front. Count basically the number of misses, basically, right? Okay, just for our testing, basically. Okay, misses. Okay, let's see. So far miss is 0, H is not there, miss is 1, P is there, P, so wow, P is already in the word, then P is not in the word. We are displaying that. That's strange. Okay, so it did go down this time, looks like. Let's go check. Oh, continue is going to the continue for loop. Okay, we are continuing here, we are not continuing here. So what we need is a break and then continue. See, this is a very interesting case. So because we are saying continue, it's going to continue here and continue with the for loop, which we don't want. We really wanted to go to the top there. So we are pretty much forced to use a break here. So which means we will come down here, and then that it will be counted as a miss. See, because the good guess is false at this point, right? We don't want that to be counted as a miss, right? Yeah, there is a clean way to fix this, dirty way to fix this. A dirty way to fix this will be change this good guess to true in this guess too, right? Since just to get around this, okay? Clean way to fix will be define one more boolean, okay? So then okay, so once you find it, it's a duplicate. So then if duplicate, okay, or you can make this combined statement. If it's not a duplicate and not a good guess, then you can do that too, okay? Several ways to fix it, really. So we are duplicate, we are assuming it's not a duplicate, we are assuming it's a missed one. So then we are looking for the looking for ways to make it true, basically, okay? When it's true, we are breaking, duplicate is true, we are breaking from the for loop. Then here we check for that and then continue, go to the top of the while loop, and that case, and if it is not miss, then we do the necessary work, okay? So now let's try again. H P, okay, so very good. So hopefully you enjoyed this kind of working through this problem. Thank you.